Hi guys, how's it? Kia ora to Makiwi Fono, and good day to everyone else, and howdy from another very hot day here in Texas. I guess when I just came in the house, it was about 38, 39, 40 there on the old thermometer, so it's 100 Fahrenheit, 100 plus Fahrenheit, and that's what we've got this whole week going forward throughout the weekend. Finally, lineups announced by Wales this morning for the second game of a three-game series. This one taking place at Bloemfontein Stadium, or they're in Bloemfontein, South Africa. We have a saying, I think it's kind of a universal saying, you throw the whole sink out the window, and it looks that's exactly what Coach Jacques Nienaber did this weekend. Only a few basic changes to the Welsh side. The starting 15, actually only one change out of that starting 15. So we'll go ahead and go through this lineup. A little recap. We won in extra time last weekend, playing what some would say was our strongest sided of 15 that we had. A lot of disappointment coming out of that. Looked like we just really did not show up to play. And when I read out the lineup for the Springboks, you will understand why. So let's go ahead and start with the visiting Welsh side, coached by Wayne Pivac. Front row remains unchanged. Thomas, Elias, and Lewis. We get Rowlands and Adam Beard at lock. We've got Lydia, Riffle, and Falato will be the flankers and number 8. The scrum half will be Hardy, same starting guy. Captaining the team at fly half, first 5/8, is Dan Bigger. The only change of the starting 15 is Cuthbert comes in at that 11 spot, the left wing. We get and Louis Rees-Zammit, who was definitely the fly in our ointment last weekend, scoring 2 tries, the first one within 2 minutes of the game. Definitely the man of the match for Wales, despite getting the yellow card there in the second half. Will be the right wing. Tompkins and North will be in the center positions, and Williams will be the fullback, just like he was last week. Lake, Sam Wainwright makes debut off the bench for Wales. Alan Wynne-Jones and Wynne-Jones. Navidi, Williams, Anscombe, and Josh Adams will round out the run-ons for that Welsh side. So only one debut. Now we get over to the Springbok side, and I guess an interview with Dan Bigger. Somebody had asked, like, hey, did you feel a little bit disrespected by this lineup that was announced? And he was like, no, because look at the depth in that side still nonetheless. And for me as a Springbok fan, I mean, look at me, I've got the shirt, the hat, the tattoo, everything, super fan here. I'm actually excited about this lineup. We get a total of, let me count it up real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys making debut, 1 starting the game. And pretty much a wholesale change to the roster. Only 1 returning man from the starting 15 to start this week. Damian Willemse, the savior of the game last week, will be in relief in that 23 jersey. We'll go ahead and start through the lineups here, because it's like, this is going to be a completely new lineup here, and we'll get to the captaincy. Front row is going to be Thomas du Toit, Joseph Dweba, and Trevor Nakane. Nakane and du Toit, both guys, very, very capable of doing their jobs, definitely. Eben Etzebeth and Marvin Ori will be the locks. Etzebeth closing in on that century mark there for caps, man. He's, I think we can all kind of remember him making his debut, working with Victor Matfield there for a bit at the end of Matfield's career. The flankers are going to be Marcel Coetzee and Peter Steph du Toit. Hopefully, we'll get to see a proper informed du Toit for the week. And making his debut, and for a lot of people, a very exciting guy at the number 8 position. We saw Jesper Wiese did a great job last week, was man of the match. My man of the match, a lot of people's man of the match. But Evan Russ will make his debut at the number 8 position there. Debut. A guy that got injured early in the international season last year, and a guy that I wanted to see a bit more of, and I had said last year, even when the injury happened, this was not going to be his last time in the jersey, was Jaden Hendrickson at the scrum half position, and captaining at fly half, first 5/8, Andre Bullard. Definitely a little bit more comfortable with his kicking ability than those of Elton Yankees, but he's still not an ace, in my opinion. Fossey and Curtly Arenza will be the left and right wing, respectively. Andre Estruson, the Premiership Player of the Year, the big name everybody's been wanting to see in the jersey again, along with Jesse Creel, mainstay there at the center positions, and Warwick Gallant, who is a guy that I'm not 100% confident in, but I think he'll do just fine. What a lineup, a starting 15, Jesus. And it gets a lot more debuts as we go on the bench here. So Malcolm Marks will be one of the other guys that actually played last week as well. A very, very reliable Malcolm Marks, especially off those lineouts. We know he's money. Making his debut is Ntunko Machunu will be making his debut. Vincent Koch also played last week. He will be also the relief on the front row there. Ruan Norkis will be making his debut. Reinhard Elstadt will be making his debut. At 35 years young, Deon Fourie will be making his debut. And Grant Williams will be making his debut as well. Congratulations to Deon Fourie. Who would have ever thought at 35 you'd make your debut? He's had a very long and storied career, played overseas for a bit. It was just something I guess he just never really gave up on, and now he's getting rewarded by making his debut. And following all up, like I said earlier, Damian Valemza, the final run on there, the guy that kind of saved our butt last week, obviously. So my predictions for the game, any of you guys that are on Super Brew, that find me on Super Brew, I predicted a 10-point victory by the Springboks last week. Obviously, I didn't quite clear that. The spread didn't quite clear that. I also predicted another 10-point victory by the Springboks this week. I know that there are some serious questions about some of these guys making debut, but I don't question their talent level. I think it says a lot more about Wales that they didn't really change up anything, and their lack of, we have depth and maybe they don't have as much as we do, and we're going to give some of these young guys a shot, and I've got nothing wrong against that. Even if not all of these guys pan out, maybe some of them maybe pan out. Maybe we have other options going forward. This isn't the kind of depth I wish we had at certain positions. I wish we had this kind of depth at first 5/8, at fly half. I wish we had that kind of depth. We just don't seem to have that depth yet, as of yet. But I'm not the biggest Jesse Creel fan. I think he's good, but I just don't think he's great. But he's definitely, he's proven himself time and time again. He's just not, that huge explosive guy that maybe he was at one time. And I'm really excited for the debut of Russ. I'm excited to see Estruson back in the green jersey. And I'm really actually happy for Jaden Hendrickson. We all saw that injury. I remember watching it live, and you knew that had to hurt like hell. And then following him on social media and seeing the recovery from that, and even shooting him a few messages saying, "Hey, bro, I know you're not done." It's good to see him back out there, back at it, and back on that horse and ready to ride once again. But 10 o'clock start this Saturday morning Central Standard Time, Flosports. If you live here in North America, I will obviously be going live for the broadcast once again, just to kind of wash along and give my commentary as it goes along. But if you want to come and hang out, come and hang out. If you're in South Africa, do a braai, get with your family, go to the pub, stay at home with your family and watch this game. We got to support the boys 100%, as we always do. Rain, snow, or shine, we've always got to support the boys. But I hope everyone is having a great week. It's Thursday here. One more day, one more Friday, and then we're all off, and we can enjoy the weekend. But I hope to see a lot of you guys again. I hope to see a lot of you guys at my live. If not, leave your comments when I do my post-game video, and we can chit-chat. So until then, cheers, guys.